Don't quit, I'll just take it off. It is good and right to be in God's house. To come here to celebrate His Word, to celebrate with each other, to hold each other up. God, we're here for a purpose, and that's to help each other. I'm gonna bare my soul a little bit for a few minutes, and then I'm gonna talk to you about this. We told you last week we were gonna start kind of looking at the Ten Commandments and what they really mean, but there was a reason behind it that I didn't understand really till this week, maybe even this last couple of days. I don't know, it just kind of hit me. A few weeks ago, I stood in this pulpit and I declared to each one of you that we're done letting Satan have victories against us. Amen. I said we're done letting him destroy marriages. We're done letting him bust up households. We're done letting him destroy our church. We're done letting him destroy our nation. We're done. Yeah. But I failed to do something. I failed to tell you how we was going to stop it. And I also remember standing up here and saying, bring it on. He did. Yeah. With force. But I'm still standing. You see, he's going to attack, and it's fitting. We were talking about Job this morning in Sunday school. We began a study in the book of Job and talked about how these things took place and how Job lost everything, but he stayed faithful to God. And I'm here to tell you, Satan has been attacking me, my family, our church. Oh, he's hitting hard. But let me tell y'all something. I'm wearing the armor of God, and it ain't been pierced yet. I'm standing here telling you that my God is bigger than the enemy. Amen. That my God is stronger than the enemy. Yes, and that this church will stand. Yes. And we will stand against his schemes. We will stand against his attacks. And here's how we're going to do it. We're going to go back to the basics. Amen. We're going to go back to the beginning. We're going to remember where we came from. We're going to remember who we were. We're going to remember what God has done. Amen. And we are going to declare those victories. Yeah. Come on, brother. I stand here before you honestly. I've been beaten up. Been beaten up, man. I've had family turn against me. It's okay. I've had the enemy attack financially. That's okay. I've had sickness. Had mental issues within family. I've had him attack my children. I've had him attack my wife. I've had him attack me personally. And he keeps coming after us. And he's going to keep coming after us. Because every day I get up and I resolve I'm going to go before the Lord. Amen. And if I do that, it makes me an enemy of Satan. Amen. But it makes me a friend of God. Amen. And that's bigger. Yeah. And that's better. The Lord said, Jesus Christ said, who's my family? He said, those that obey my commands. He said, who is it that is my brother and my sister? Those that obey the will of the Father. Those that do that. And I got to thinking a couple of weeks ago, I was telling y'all we're going to talk about the Ten Commandments, because I truly believe as a generation, sometimes we kind of fail. I'm not going to make it recite it, but I am going to ask you honestly right now, who can say, beyond a shadow of a doubt, I know all 10 commandments. And I can tell you, right here in the middle of the service, I can stand up and say it. Who can honestly say that right now? Tough. Now somebody say, well, I probably know them, but I ain't going to stand up. I ain't going to ask you to, by the way. I'm not going to do that to you. But I found myself before having folks tell me commandments that weren't really commandments. I had folks telling me about things that were in the Bible that actually ain't there. Amen. I see people all the time justifying actions and deeds using the Word of God when it don't say that. Amen. You know, we had an entire generation of people that believed racism and segregation was okay because the Word of God said it. Let me explain something to you. The Word of God did not say that. Amen. Has never said that, and never will say that. Now, God told His people, I'm going to say this, He told the Israelites in the days of the law that they shouldn't marry and have relations with the people around them. That had nothing to do with skin color. That had nothing to do with nationality. That had nothing to do with any of that. It had to do with the fact that they were pagan worshipers, and they would take God's people and they would corrupt their belief system. They would corrupt the way they worship God, and they would turn them from God.
Yeah.
And by the way, if you don't think the devil has done that, open your eyes, folks. Because we have compromised so much within the church until I dare say most churches don't even know what they really stand for. Christianity is so watered down, most people couldn't even tell you. If you ask people, what is your religion? They'll say, I'm Baptist, or I'm Methodist, or I'm Catholic, or I'm... That's a denomination, y'all. It's not a religion. Folks don't even know what they believe. They believe what they've been told.
Come on.
Not what God has told them.
Come on now.
They believe what some preacher has told them over the years, and it's gospel truth. And I pray that they're preaching the gospel. I'm not even going to go down that road, but I'm going to say this. Not everything you hear is right.
No.
Sometimes, no, all the time, you need to challenge it in the Word of God. By the way, from this pulpit, when I speak, I back it up with the Word of God.
Amen.
I tell you where I'm speaking from and what I'm talking about so you can see it. And if I'm wrong, challenge me on it. Let's get it fixed. Because I don't want to stand on my own word, because that's worthless.
Come on. Come on.
Stand on His. My point for this, y'all, and I've got one, I'm getting to it. We need to know who we are.
Yeah.
We need to know what God asks of us. We need to understand not only who we are, but who God is.
Amen.
Yeah.
If we're going to be successful moving forward as a church, we're going to have to know what we believe and what we stand for. If we're going to be successful as individuals within the church, we got to know what we believe and what we stand for.
Amen.
And we've got to understand who God is in our life. If you got your Bibles, you can go ahead and open Exodus chapter 20. We'll get there in just a couple minutes. I told you that I told you a few weeks ago how we wasn't going to let Satan have any more victories. But I didn't tell you how, and here's how. We're going to stand on the foundation that is the very Word of God. We're going to stand upon what God says and who God is. And we're going to do some things differently. I told you this morning, one of the first things we want to do is change the way we start service. We are all going to pray together to start service. But we're going to pray not just words. We're going to pray believing God. This is the method that Christ told us to pray in. This is the Lord's Prayer, if you will. It's what's known as the Lord's Prayer. It was the motto by which we would pray. But I believe in solidarity, if we can do that and truly mean it, God's going to do great things. I was moved this weekend when I saw the local schools and they had that football game. Y'all probably read about it, saw it on the news. It's all over. It's actually making national news. The Lee County Board of Education came down and said no more would Smith Station High School begin football games with somebody praying over the loudspeaker. That was a violation of church and state. We can't have that. We're going to stop all of that. So they said if we tell them they can't get on a loudspeaker, we'll end that problem. Because some group up in the north decided we're going to sue the school districts. And rather than fight it, which by the way, I don't know if these people in the district realize we're in the Bible Belt, we probably win.
Yeah.
But we're spineless. Oh, let's not offend anybody. Let's not stand up for anything. So they back down. They sent out a decree. You can't do that anymore. That's all right. I don't know how it got started. I don't know which students began it, but a lot of students began talking. I began hearing about it during the week. And they said, we're going to pray anyway. Which, by the way, is a great idea. You don't need a loudspeaker to pray. Y'all don't have to have it over a PA system for it to work. Come on. And they began to come together before this football game. And they began, one section started saying the Lord's Prayer. Before you knew it, the whole stadium was praying. And I imagine that hell started shaking a little bit.
Amen. Come on.
Now, I worry sometimes, though. How many folks doing that because the crowd was doing it around them? How much emotion was involved? How many folks really meant it? And then this morning, are they praying in church? Are they somewhere with God? I hope so. I don't know where they are this morning, but I know where they were Friday night. And I thought it was great that folks stood up. But let me ask you a question. Why did it take that? See, I hear people talk all the time. They say, well, they've taken prayer out of schools. They've taken God out of schools. Can I say this to you? If you're depending on the school to bring your child God, you're failing as a parent. Come on. it out of your house.
Come on.
As Brother Robert likes
Come on,
to say.
Come on.
Who took it from your home?
Come on.
See, I don't need the school to bring Jesus to my kids. I want to live it for them. We don't need school systems to do it. I don't need Russell County, Muskogee County, Lee County to be able to bring Christ. Christ ought to be going with my kids when they go there.
Come on, bro.
See, we failed as a society because we depended on everybody else to do it for us. We've stepped back and quit being the people we need to be. But I say no more. Stand on the promises of God.
Amen.
What a fitting song to sing. I had no idea we'd do it.
Amen.
Stand on His promises and stop standing scared. I don't need the school district to have prayer in it. If I bring my child up right, prayer will go with them.
Amen. Amen.
I've always joked anyway, as long as there's tests, there'll always be prayer in school. But some kids praying, God help me pass this test. Come on. Come on. That's the truth. Some college students in here saying that sometimes too. That's okay. That's okay. Call on the name of the Lord. It's all that matters. But I say, why do we have to get to these extreme points? Why is it we have to do this? Why aren't we just doing what we're supposed to do anyway? Amen. You look around, folks, and there's a lot of folks here that aren't here right now. A lot of people that aren't here that used to be. One reason or another, whatever it is. But it's the truth. And in churches all over the place. It's become normal, not the exception. And that's sad. But guys, it's time for people to stand back up for God. Because He never quit standing for us. Look with me. How are we going to do it? Foundations that were given to us. The Lord's Prayer will be recited. And we're going to believe it. The 10 Commandments that Jesus Christ, that God gave us and that Jesus gave us. Jesus backed up every command, by the way. We're going to look at the 10 Commandments that God gave. We're going to look at the 2 that Christ gave us that fulfills all the 10. And we're going to stand on those. And we're going to have a foundation built on those in our lives. And then we're going to take this gospel out of these 4 walls and we're going to share it with the folks who need to hear it.
Amen.
Guys, the time for us keeping it to ourselves is over. It's time to share this thing. It's time to show who God is. 10 Commandments were awesome. They were handed out by God to Abraham, or to Moses, excuse me, I say Abraham, to Moses on the Mount Sinai. They said that the smoke and the fire of God came down upon the mountain. They said that literally fire fell from the sky and smoke billowed up. The people were scared. They heard thunder and they heard trumpets. And the voice of God telling Moses, come up here. And He said to him, He said, don't let everybody push through to come up here, otherwise we'll be struck down. They can't come upon this place. See, you can't do it unless God calls you to do it.
Amen. Come on.
You don't come to the Lord till He calls you.
Come on.
He called him up and He said, come on up. And He gave him out some commandments. Now, He gave him these commandments special because He knew the people were going to face people who didn't believe in Him. They were going to face places that weren't His. They were going to be tested and tried. And He wanted to give them a foundation to stand upon as a nation. And the first 4 commandments all had to do with a relationship between God and man. They were specific to His relationship with mankind. And then the following 6 commandments, which we will not get to today, I'm certain of, were the relationship of man to man. Mankind with itself. God laid it out for us. Y'all with me? I'm trying to set a great foundation for you. I'm trying to set you a place, a starting point. You need to understand why it's important. See, God knew they needed something to build upon.
Yeah.
Everything you build upon must have a foundation first. If you just begin to build and you have no foundation, one day it's going to rain. One day storms are going to come and the whole building will wash out from under you.
Amen.
And that'll happen to a nation, that'll happen to a church, and that'll happen to a marriage. It'll happen in your household. If you don't have a foundation that you can stand upon, storms are going to come. Not if, when they come. You better have something to stand on.
Amen.
God was laying it out for the people. We're giving you something to stand upon. Something that is concrete, that you'll always have. Keep these Commandments. He gave out all these other laws and statutes, but he only gave a handful of commandments. Look at the first one. Y'all ready? Here we go. Starting Exodus 20, verse 2. Actually, verse 1 says, and God spoke these words. Verse 2, I am the Lord your God, who brought you out of Egypt, out of the land of slavery. You shall have no other gods before me. I am the Lord your God. Number one, he says, I am. Let me explain something to you why that's important. When Moses was called by God, he saw a bush burning that was not consumed by fire. He saw fire just burning, and it was an amazing sight to him, so much so it brought him. He had to go see and get closer to this. And then he heard the voice of God as it spoke to him. And God laid out what he was going to do. He said, Moses, you're going to go to Pharaoh. You're going to set my people free from Egypt. You're going to free them from slavery, and they'll be a nation. But he said, Lord, what will I tell them? Who am I going to tell them sent me? And he said, you're going to tell them this. I am has sent you. Amen. So when he starts the 10 Commandments saying, I am, you can better believe it came with authority. Amen. Because it came from I am. Amen. He reiterated and said, this is me telling you. I brought you out of slavery. I bought you. I got you from this place. I am the Lord your God, and you'll have no other gods before me. But I've heard the translation is wrong, even in footnotes in the Bible. It ought not say before me as if there were some list of gods. Here's God, and here's Allah, and Zeus, and Buddha, and whatever. No. Before me means in my presence. It should say besides me. There is no other God. I am it. Come on. Nothing will be in my presence. No other God. There is no other God because I am said so. Come on. See, God is the only God. When people say, well, how do we know we worship the right thing? Because I am told me. No, there is no other God. And one day, I've told y'all before, one day, every knee will bow and every tongue will confess that Jesus Christ is Lord of all. Because he is God. That's it. No others. No other before me because there is no other besides me. There is no other. The Lord said, I brought you out of slavery. I am the one that set you free. I am the one that has called you out. And I am the only one. Now you might say, well, Pastor, he's talking to the Israelites on the mountain. He's talking to that. No, let me explain something to you. The Israelites were the descendants of Abraham. They were his descendants, no doubt. They were a people called out to be separate from the world. God chose them. Why did he choose them? I don't know, because he's God and that's what he decided to do. They became his chosen people. But see, Jesus Christ changed things just a little bit. His chosen people became whoever he chose. It became whosoever would choose him. So in that respect, we are all Israelites in that we are God's people. Now here's the problem. Some of God's people have decided that God, Jesus Christ, aren't good enough for them and they have their own thing going on. Well, woe to them. They'll deal with that and God will deal with that and that's their problem, not mine. I know Jesus Christ is my Lord and Savior. That's all that matters. And therefore, I'm his child. And I am a royal priesthood. I am a son of the king and I claim that victory. Amen. He's mine and I'm his. And I love him. So why is this relevant? Because we are God's chosen people. We still stand upon these promises. Now, we don't keep the sacrificial laws and the ceremonial laws and the sacrifices and all that because we don't have to, because Christ fulfilled all that. He took care of that for us. But there are certain things we continue to do, and the number one thing is recognizing He is the only God. That's right. Amen. And we will give Him praise. Let me tell you, you may say, well, I was never in Egypt. No, but I guarantee you this, you were in slavery. Amen. And God called you out. Right. I was. And He freed me of that. Stupidly, I'd like to walk right back into it sometimes. Come on. In times of my life, I walked right back into the slavery that I was freed from. But praise God, He loved me enough, He freed me again.
Amen.
Why is it mankind does that? I can't explain that. I like to say this: in the Garden of Eden, God put two trees we know about. Tree of life, tree of knowledge of good and evil, you know, and He said, don't eat of this tree. Don't eat of this tree, you know, you'll die. Why did He put it in there? Because God is a God of free will. He wants you to choose to follow Him, not be forced to. If He had only put one tree, there'd only been one choice. And that ain't how God works. But I like to equate it like this. What if it wasn't a tree? What if He just put a big old cage and said, don't walk in that cage? It'll close on you and you'll be trapped. Somebody would have walked in that cage just to see if it closed. It's the truth. If I put a box out there and I put a big sign that said, do not look in this box, no matter what, somebody's going to peek in that box and see what in the world am I trying to hide.
That's right.
That's the truth. It's mankind. Unfortunately, we haven't evolved a whole lot. We're the same people. It could have been a big old cage. We'd have still walked in that cage just to see if it really closed.
Yeah.
Well, that's what it was, and we did it. We failed. My point is, though, God set us free.
Amen.
We enslaved ourselves to sin, and He freed us. What a mighty God. There will be no other gods besides me.
That's right.
Y'all got that? That's the principle on which we got to build first. It ain't some list, it ain't some priority. Jesus Christ, though, He reaffirmed this. In the Gospel of Matthew, the 4th chapter, the 10th verse, He was being tempted in the desert by Satan. Satan was trying to trick Jesus into worshiping Him. He was trying to get Jesus to give up. And Jesus spoke to Satan these words: worship the Lord your God and serve Him only. He said, Satan, listen, I'm not going to give in to you. There's only one God that I will worship, the Lord.
Amen.
I will not bow down to you. I will not worship you. I will not give you dominion. And it says, when Jesus said these words to him, Satan left him. And angels came and attended to him. If we'll declare to Satan there is no other God and we will not worship Him, we will only serve God alone, he has to flee. Guys, I've said this many times. I'm going to say it again. Satan does not have dominion over your life. He only has the power you're willing to give him. He does not have the authority. Can he attack you? Yes. Can he attack your finances, your family, your home? Can he bring destruction upon some of the things? He did it to Job. Why am I better than Job? He can do it, but he is limited by God.
Amen.
And he cannot take your life if you were covered by God. Satan has power, won't deny that, but it's limited. And it's extremely limited to the believer if we will stand upon the Word of God and tell Satan, get behind me. In fact, I don't like to tell him, get behind me. I just like to say, get away from me.
Yeah.
I don't need you here.
Trump him on.
You ain't welcome here. Out.
Walk on him.
God gave us that. Christ said, worship the Lord your God and serve Him only. Directly to Satan. Now, Jesus did something awesome. He was asked by some people, he said, what's the greatest commandment? Jesus looked at him and he said, well, here's what it is. Love the Lord your God with all your heart, with all your mind, with all your body, with all your soul. The second one is just like the first. Love your neighbor as yourself. Now, in the very beginning, I told you the 10 Commandments are broken up into 4 and 6. Serving God, serving man. But here's the deal. Jesus Christ wrapped them all up. He said the number one most important thing for you to do is love God with everything you have. Everything you have to offer, you offer it to God. You give Him all that you have. And then you love each other just as much as you love yourself. If you can do those two things, all the commandments are covered. I asked you who could stand up and say, I know all 10 commandments, and say them. You know what? You don't have to. If you can say those two, the others are taken care of.
Amen.
You don't have to know them by heart because you already live in them.
That's right. Amen.
But I say you ought to know them. I say it's important. But as long as you're loving God and everything you got, guess what? There is no other God before you. You're keeping that command. We're going to look at the second one, and you'll keep that one. Look at this. Going on down. Ready? You shall not make for yourself an image in the form of anything in heaven, above, or on the earth, beneath, or in the waters below. You shall not bow down to them or worship them, for I, the Lord your God, am a jealous God, punishing the children for the sin of the parents to the third and the fourth generation of those that hate me, but showing love to 1,000 generations of those who love me and keep my commandments. This one I always thought was pretty easy. I always thought, man, this is simple. Don't make nothing and bow down to it. I ain't doing that. Don't worship some image. I ain't doing that. All I ever thought was the Chinese restaurant I like to go to the buffet, and they got that little fat Buddha in the corner. And I'm thinking, I ain't never going to bow down to one of them things. I'm never going to build some trinket and stick it in my house and worship it. I don't have to worry about this. And I'll never worship an idol. Come on. Yeah. I'll sit in front of that TV for hours at a time. And watch things. It'll be right in the center of the room. Shining bright. Everything in the room goes around it. Uh-oh. Did the preacher just go there? Sorry. I'll put family and events and other things in front of God's time. He'll understand. I'll put celebrities and wanting to be things. I'll put money and jobs. I'll put that ahead of God. He'll understand. I'll put these other things up there and he'll understand it, right? It's all, I'm not really worshiping them. I'm just not really worshiping God right now. I got other things to do. See, when I really took a glimpse of my life, it was like, it's pretty easy to let an idol come in.
Amen.
Well, it's pretty easy. While you may not physically bow down to it and you may not worship this little trinket or this thing, if you're giving it most of your life, can I be honest with you? That's sort of what you're doing. I'm not saying we shouldn't work, and sometimes you have to work on Sunday, it happens. I'm working right now. It's okay. I'm not saying we ought not go to jobs, or we ought not watch TV. I ain't telling you that. But we'll say this, though, be careful what you're watching, because, man, Satan sneaks in that thing. Ooh, believe me, I've seen it. Watching a movie the other night. Just watching the movie, one I had seen years ago, I think, but man, all of a sudden this language came on, I just don't remember. And it's basic cable. And I'm going to tell you, certain words used to not be able to be said on basic cable. Well, it was said. I was laying there half asleep, and Ray woke up and said, "What is this?" I said, "I don't know, but we're turning. This is too late. This is too much." She was watching TV last night. It was Saturday Night Live or something. I don't know. It just came on after the football game went off. And she's sitting there, and man, they start cussing and dropping. And it's like, what is this?
Yeah.
You ain't expecting it, and there it is. Commercials nowadays, man. We were talking with a couple last night. It's pornography. Amen. Flat out.
Yeah.
I mean, there's some very skillfully dressed people in these things. I don't know why they bother putting the pieces of string over them that they put. Might as well just let it go. Pastor, come on. It's just a commercial. Yeah, it is, but it's a little thing. A little thing. A little thing. A little compromise here. A little compromise there. A little compromise there. Pretty soon, what have you got? You keep giving in. You keep giving in. You keep giving in. And what you find is you've given up so much you can't get it back. Thou shalt not bow down to any graven image. Okay. About thou shalt not worship or put any graven image before your Lord. It's bad like that sometimes. But I like the part in there. See, everybody's probably remember that part. You remember the part, don't bow down to an image. That's a commandment. But there's more to it. Did you read the rest of it? Did you really look at it? Because God says, "For I am a jealous God." In other words, I don't want to compete with anything else. I've already told you I am the only God.
That's right.
Why am I still competing in commandment 2? I shouldn't have to. I'm jealous. God is jealous for you. And what I mean by that is He
Amen.
I hear people all the time, well, I want to go to church because they ask for money. Look, man, I ain't asking for nothing, but I am going to say this. Support your church. Why? Because that's the thing that most of us get bound by, is the checkbook, the wallet, whatever it is. We get bound by the dollar. We get wrapped up in it, and it becomes what we worship. It becomes our security. It becomes what we depend on in times of trouble. God is a jealous God. He doesn't want to compete with that. Why does He ask for a tithe to take care of church? That's what it is. And it's to help the church grow. Man, I'm privileged to stand here, and on each side of the room we got missions that we support with the church. I think it's so cool. We've got the foreign missions right over here in Guatemala where they go, and man, what great things have been going on down there. God is blessing. Churches are supporting. God is moving in the midst of turmoil, in the midst of some of the nastiest conditions. The light of God is shining. And praise the Lord, it's an honor that we get to be a little part of that. Then I look over and I see Tammy and Bobby with the homeless, the hands and feet of Christ missionary right here in town where we started supporting this. And then we get letter after letter. We got a letter this morning. Let me just read this to y'all. This is cool. It says, from Kathy Williams, thank you so much. I was so happy. It made me cry with joy. I start my job Monday. I'm ready now. This will change my life. Thank you so much. I said, man, that's awesome. Who's Kathy Williams? I said, I don't know. Well, what did we do? Gave him some boots to go to work. I said, man, that's cool. Who is Kathy? I don't know who Kathy is. You know what God does, though? Did she recognize God provided something for her? Why? Because you're willing to tithe and give offerings and do things. Because you're willing to come off of something and let it be for God. And that's all God wants from us, is us to let go of the other stuff in the world and make Him first. He's jealous for us. He wants you. All of you. Not part of you. Not a little bit. The whole thing. And it says this, though. Did you read on further? I will punish your children to the third, fourth generation of the people that hate me. You despise and hate me, and I'll make your life miserable. Let me tell you something. Yeah. Families, they get crushed for generations. Yeah. Generations of poverty, generations of lawlessness, generations of... You ever notice how some families, there just seems to be trouble in that family all the time? We'll trace it back. What you're going to find is 9 times out of 10, wasn't a whole lot of God somewhere along that generation. Yeah. But He says, to those that love me, I'll bless them down to 1,000 generations. Man, I'll punish 3 or 4, but I will bless 1,000. Let me ask you something. You want God's punishment or His blessing? I take the blessing. 1,000 times to 4? Thank you, Lord. Amen. Thank you. Yes, I'll take that. So I'll say this. If you're part of the 3rd or 4th generation and you've been under a curse, come out and start the 1,000-year blessing. Because you control you. See, I hate when I hear people say, well, I'm a product of this. You know what? I am a product of some bad things that happen. But by God, I'm born again. By God Almighty. And I'm not a product of that anymore. And the family that I've always desired, Maria and I said, we'll start it. And we'll just carry on the good things. But we'll start the little unit that we always wanted. We're going to start this thing and build it with our children and then their children and their children. And I believe God. I believe He'll bless it 1,000 generations if we'll stick with it. Amen. But you got to give it all to Him.
Amen. Oh. That's right.
Not just when things are good. Even in turmoil. I believe in the promises of God. I believe He wouldn't have read it if He didn't mean it. Read it probably in the Word, but y'all know what I'm talking about. Sometimes I say things don't make a whole lot of sense. It's enough for you to understand that. I hope you know. God wouldn't have put it there if He didn't mean it, y'all. He also wouldn't have put that punishment if He didn't mean it. He's telling His people, you better serve Him.
Yes, Lord.
Third, wait a minute. Wait a minute. I got to back it up to Jesus, right? All right. Amen. Luke 16:13, Jesus said this, no one can serve 2 masters. You'll love one and hate the other. You'll love the other and hate the one. You can't serve both God and money. You can't serve God and mammon. You cannot serve two masters. You can only have one master. Don't worship nothing else. Don't give to anything. God alone. Notice how Christ proved each thing. Man, what an awesome thing. Alright. We're going to get through the first 4 and I'm going to stop. Because I know time will get close. Verse 7. Ooh, this is a good one. You shall not misuse the name of the Lord your God. For the Lord will not hold anyone guiltless that misuses His name. Thou shalt not take the name of the Lord in vain, for the Lord will not hold him guiltless that takes His name in vain. We all get that, right? We don't say a certain curse word, correct? Because that's taking the Lord's name in vain. But we listen to it all the time. But you know what we do say? OMG. What? Oh yeah. What about, I swear to God. And there's a whole lot of others out there. That's the same thing. I swear to God. I remember having a teacher one time, this was pretty funny, in class, somebody say, oh, Jesus, she'd go, pray. Say a prayer for me while you're praying. I love it. Oh, I love it. She'd catch you quick. Baby, say a prayer for me while you're praying over there. Guys, we don't even realize we do it. Come on. But we misuse the Lord's name all the time. It seems like it'd be a no-brainer. It'd be a piece of cake. Don't do this. It's almost become second nature. And we don't even realize what we're doing. I don't believe it's malicious. I don't believe you're trying to disappoint God. But this is what I'm talking about. We give a little, we give a little more, we give a little more, we give a little more until it becomes normal. Customary. And we've broken commandments. I want to say this though, God will forgive you. He loves you. You can't stop. You can start over. I love to swear. Christ used that. Matthew 5:34. Let me go to it. I want to read the whole thing to you. I really love it. I want to make sure I tell you right, brother. Don't want to lead you in the wrong direction. Matthew 5:34 says this. You ready? Again, you've heard it said people long ago, do not break your oath, but fulfill it to the Lord, the vows that you've made. But I tell you, do not swear an oath at all, either by heaven, for it's God's throne, or by the earth, for it's His footstool, or by Jerusalem, for it's the city of the great King. And don't swear by your head, for you can't even make one hair white or black. All you need to do is say simply yes or no. Anything beyond this comes from the evil one. When I swear to God, or I swear to heaven, or I swear by the earth, or I swear by all these things, you're misusing the name of the Lord. Christ says you don't have to do that. All you got to do is let your yes be yes, your no be no in the book of James. Jesus says just use yes, just use no. Anything else is of the devil. What's my point? You don't have to reiterate things. When I swear to, if you're being an honest person, all you got to say is yes or no. But we're so quick to make sure you understand it's of dire importance. I swear. No. Yes. No. Should be enough. We pollute things. We dilute things. We mess it up. Till our word don't even mean anything anymore. We misuse God's name. We don't even realize we do. But now that you know, don't do it anymore. Okay? That's simple, right? That's Sabbath day by keeping it holy. 6 days you shall labor and do all your work, but the seventh day is a Sabbath to the Lord your God. On it you shall not do any work, neither you, nor your son or daughter, nor your male or female servant, nor your animals, nor any foreigner that resides in your towns. For in 6 days the Lord made the heavens and the earth, the sea, and all that's in them, but He rested on the seventh day. Therefore the Lord blessed the Sabbath day, and He made it holy. God created the Sabbath for us as a day of rest and a day of worship. He gave it to us as a gift. We need to take time and spend with God. Too many times we get so busy and so wrapped up that we just keep on going, don't even know what day it is. We don't take time to actually rest and recharge. We just keep on plowing until we run into a wall that's so strong it knocks us down for days at a time. God set it up so we work and then we rest. He created the Sabbath. Now, let me say this right now, right clear. I don't care what day you call your Sabbath. Because in the New Testament, He said days and months, and they don't mean anything. See, I hear all these people, I've actually seen it. We're all going to hell because we worship God on Sunday. And Saturday's the Sabbath because in Spanish it's Sabado. Did I say that right? Well, everything I say is going to be a little southern, so I'm in the South Spain there. I'm in South of Spain.
Bless Him, Lord. Bless Him, Lord.
We don't worship on Saturday, so we're all evil. Guys, it don't matter. What if God happened to make the first day Wednesday and we didn't realize that Tuesday was actually supposed to be the Sabbath? What if we started the week on a Tuesday instead of on Sunday or a Monday or whatever you want to call it? Who are we to say when God started? All we know is 6 days and then rest.
Amen.
Well, I work all the time. Do you? Do you have nights? You're going to get some day off. Can you give that one to the Lord? Nobody works 7 days a week forever. Nobody. You find time to do what you want. I'm just saying. You'll make the time. Take vacation day. You'll take whatever. You'll make sure you do the things you want to do. Don't tell me you can't find some time to give to God. Because you're barking up the wrong tree. Do you have to work Sunday? Sometimes, yes. I know, man, she's a hairdresser. I know sometimes she's got to go in there. Stephen's selling cars today. He had to go to work. Mike has to work a lot of Sundays. I know that. John has to work a lot of Sundays and Saturday night. He works a night shift. I know that. And around the room, there's many of you have to do the same. And hey, that's fine. But when you ain't working, can you show up to God's house? Can you give God a little time? Well, I don't have to come to church to worship God. No, you do not. But you know something? Why not do it with your brothers and sisters and enjoy it?
Amen.
Because it's a whole lot better when we're together. Because truth be told, be honest right now, how many times do you actually do it when you're alone? Let's just be honest. I hear it all the time. I understand that. But be honest, are you really doing it? You know, when God brought the Israelites out of Egypt and He took them through the desert, and they were complaining about, we're going to die in this desert, we ain't got nothing to eat, so God sent them something. He sent them manna from heaven. Literally, manna meant, what is it? The actual translation was, what is it? I don't even know what it was. It was some kind of little bread or they said it tasted sweet, and it was, according to the Bible, like coriander and honey, and pretty cool thing. I don't even know what coriander is, but it must have been okay. I'm not sure. But God gave it to them, so it must have been good for them. But He gave it to them every single day. Every morning they'd wake up, it was on the ground like frost, and they'd collect it. And it must have been good, not too stinky, so it didn't have sand in it. So it must have been pretty awesome. God made something good for them. And He gave it to them. He said, collect it. Get as much of it as you can. Use it. But when you're done with it today, get rid of it. I'll provide again tomorrow. That took faith. I'm in the desert, now there's food to eat. I better save it because I don't know what might come tomorrow. But God said, tomorrow there'll be more. And the next day there'll be more. But you got to have it. You got to believe me. If you try to keep it, bad things are going to happen. Some folks kept it. The next morning it was rotted, maggots, and it was nasty. But he said, on the 6th day, I'm going to give you enough, you collect it for 2 days. Well, God already did that once, it was rotten. No, I'm telling you. Because on the 7th day, it ain't falling. You ain't going to go work. Collect enough on day 6. Day 7, don't do nothing. So they collected, and I imagine the first time they ever did it, they were like, okay, yeah, they collected a bucket of it, or whatever it was, however they carried it around, probably a bucket. I'd have had a Home Depot bucket. Get plenty of it. A minute bucket, I don't know. They filled that bucket up, you know, they got the stuff, bowl, whatever it was they kept it in, and they were like, okay, let's see how this works. Next morning, all right, I got to get my mount. Whoa, ain't none out here. I better look in my bucket. And there it was, still good. See, God knew they needed to rest. He knew they needed to take a break. He provided enough for them. During the 6 days, they wouldn't have to worry about it on the 7th. And I'm telling you this, if you'll trust God enough today, He'll provide enough. Quit striving for that. A bit more. A bit more. See, a lot of people that work on Sundays do so because they choose to, because there's a bonus to it. Companies know that. They'll pay them time and a half. Some places give them 2 times. They know I can entice them with enough. They'll come. How do I know? Because I used to be one. But guys, what's it worth? You know what I found out when you make more money? You spend more money. And then Uncle Sam takes more of it. Absolutely. And really ain't no better off than it was to start with. And I'm trying. You got to be careful. Why am I saying this and why do I keep going? Because we make idols of things. God said, I give you a day to rest. I give you a day to spend with me. I give this to you. But we don't take it. But it was a command. Remember the Sabbath. Keep it holy. But Jesus spoke about it a little bit. Mark chapter 2, verse 27 and 28. You'll probably all recognize this. You've heard it before, but I like it. He had a statement about the Sabbath. Here's what he said. Then he said to them, the Sabbath was made for man, not man for the Sabbath. So the Son of Man is Lord even of the Sabbath. What? See, what had happened was his disciples had picked some wheat. They were walking through a field from one town to another, and they picked some grains of wheat, and they were gnawing on it, walking down the road. And the Pharisees and Sadducees had to fit, oh, you're working on the Sabbath, you evil people. There was a time where Jesus healed a man whose hand was withered and crippled, and he touched him on the Sabbath, and he was healed, and people went crazy. Oh, you can't do that on the Sabbath. He said, let me explain something to you people. The Sabbath was made for you. You wasn't made for it. It was set aside for you, and the Son of Man, He is the Lord of the Sabbath. And He will do what He wants to do when He wants to do it. Amen. God is in control, not you. Amen. See, the thing is, we like to think we have this control. That we're somehow in control of all this. No, we're not. And the day that you let go of the illusion that you have control is a day of freedom I can't even explain. Because God is the one that's in control no matter what you think. Amen. The Sabbath was made for us. We weren't made for it. God says you worship me any day. In fact, worship me every day. But on the Sabbath, take a break. Rest. Strengthen yourself. And strengthen yourself in me. That's the Lord speaking, not me. Strengthen yourself in God, man. Let Him come in and invade. Let Him have that part of you. Too many times we replace God with everything else. I see Mike sitting there and just made me think. We were talking in the hospital this week. It's funny. He's in the hospital. He's sitting here today. Praise God. And got healed again. He just keeps on doing it, don't he?
Come on with it, bro.
We stand there talking. He said, I remember being at church, and lady, got saved. And then she came to me and said, sir, on Sundays you got to end at noon because I got to watch NASCAR. I got to leave and make it home to watch the race. If I leave out of here at noon, Understand, it ain't you, but I got to see the race. Now, Jerry nodded his head, and y'all leave because she has to go to work. I get that a lot of Sundays, so I'm not talking to you, Jerry. I'm not putting you down here. Y'all have to, because they'll tell me if I leave, it's not because we got to go. Miss Janice works at AutoZone, and a lot of times I make her work on Sunday afternoon. But till she has to go to work, she's right back there, which is so cool with me. But I sat there, and Mike was telling me the story. He said they were coming to God, and then they were like, you know what? I'm giving to God. Why ain't He blessing me? I got to go home watching races. Well, you know why it was funny? Because I used to be that person. I had a room dedicated to it, man, all around the ceiling with race cars and flags, and I had a TV in the corner. And on Sunday afternoon, don't bother me. I'm watching this race. I'm watching them go left and left, 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 left. Then sometimes somebody spin out. That was pretty cool to the red. I was waiting for the red.
They spin out to the left, though.
Yeah, it just about every time. Thank you, Jimmy. I thought that was important. I was telling him I couldn't tell you who's racing, where they're racing, or what car anybody drives anymore. I have no clue. I don't even turn it on anymore. Why? It didn't change. I did. My priorities changed. My life. It don't matter anymore. It ain't important. If I don't even know who's leading points. If he wins the championship, great for him. Who cares? I don't care. I don't even know. Still going left. Sometimes I'll turn on a football game and I'll leave because it don't matter to me. It's fun to watch, but it don't matter. You know what I find myself doing on Sunday? Something I swore I'd never do. I get home from church, I eat, and I go to sleep. Yeah. Man, I tell you what, I work up sweat up here, but man, I sleep good after church. Whatever reason. I swore when I was dating Maria, my mom used to. I said, I ain't never going to do that. Now, I can't wait to get home and take a nap. It's going to be after church. Not instead of sleep. My point is, guys, we've got to take a break now and again. God gave it to us. It's a gift to us. Why won't we take it? All right, I see it's pretty close to 12:30. I'm going to wrap it. Not because it ain't important, but you know what? Good Lord willing, we'll have next week. And if we don't, it means He calls us home. We'll be all right too.
Amen. Yeah, what did it in the world yesterday?
Yeah, whoever said that was, whatever. That was good. Don't even believe in that stuff, people. Yeah, I love that. The world's going to end. Get all your affairs in order. Really? Who cares? What's the point? You know, I heard, this was funny though. I heard that the guy that came up with the idea that the world was going to end, that did it, was asked to do a TV interview. He said, no, I'm busy next week. How about next Wednesday? My world was ending Saturday. That man's calendar's messed up. Must be the new iPhone. I don't know. It's funny. But guys, here's the deal. We're living in a society that will believe anything. Somewhere there were people worried that the world was going to end tomorrow or yesterday. Lord, I hope it's before or after the Alabama game, before the Auburn game, or after the Auburn game. Who cares? Why are we worried about stuff like that? Here's the deal. The world ends, that's fine. I'm with Jesus. You hear me? It's going to end one day, but you know what? The Bible says nobody knows the day, nobody knows the hour. So anytime somebody says they do, laugh about it because it ain't real.
All I heard when the 2000 hit,
Remember that? 2000, 2012,
that's all I heard.
2020. It
We
don't
missed
matter.
that one too, didn't we?
Yeah, it don't matter. Do you see how easy it is to get people in tizzy? How easy it is to forget? Because why? We get off of the things that matter. Guys, if we'll obey the commands that God gave us, we will live with Him. Jesus Christ said, my brothers, my sisters, who are they? They're the ones that keep my Father's commandments. Those that love me and keep my commandments. Giving the first forward of a relationship between God and man. And let me tell you why I stop there, because that's the relationship you need the most. It is great to have a relationship with your fellow man. That's a good thing. But if you don't know Jesus Christ, if you don't have that relationship, if you don't have that vertical line on the cross, if you don't know Him, this one don't matter.
Yes, Lord.
This man-to-man relationship, it don't matter if you don't know God first. I pray everybody in this room knows Jesus Christ as Lord and Savior. I pray everybody in this room has a firm foundation, man, that they're excited, they know the Lord, and they're going to live for Him. But I do know this, you're being attacked. And if you aren't being attacked, you're going to be attacked. And your faith will be tested. And will it stand?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's a question. You've got to answer for yourself. But I can tell you how it can. By believing in Jesus Christ. And putting a firm foundation in Him and Him alone. We love other relationships, and that's good, but they're not what matters. Do you know Jesus? Have you confessed with your mouth? Have you believed in your heart that God raised Him from the dead? Have you been saved? Well, I think so. Well, I'm just going to give you an answer. If you think so, you ain't.
Yeah, Lord.
It ain't a think. See, this is one you know. You better know it. Because times are coming. I hate to be the bearer of bad news. It's going to get tested. The little school board thing I started with, that's becoming the norm, folks. And you're going to see more and more, and they're going to invade more and more places. You better know what you believe. I believe in Jesus Christ. I believe in God the Father, Almighty Maker of heaven and earth, and Jesus Christ, His only begotten Son. I believe in the Holy Spirit. I believe He was born of the Virgin Mary. I believe He lived a perfect life. I believe He died on a cross for me, and I believe He was buried. And I believe 3 days later He got up.
Yeah. Amen.
And that He stands conquering death even to this day, and that He has freed us from it. I believe in those things. Do you believe in those things? If you do, accept Christ. Let Him be your Savior. Let Him lead you. And if you're under attack, tell Satan, get away from me, because Christ gave you that authority.
Amen.
But you've got to take it. You've got to believe it. It's got to be real to you. Oh, I can shout it from the rooftops, but if it ain't real to you, it don't matter. Just a moment, I'm going to open this altar up. And I open up the altar. You can pray from right where you are. You can easily do that. You can ask God in your heart, sit in your seat. You can ask God to pray for you or take care of you or do anything you want right there. But there's something about stepping out and coming forward. You know, the Bible tells us that if there's any sick among you, come forward. Let the elders of the church anoint you with oil, pray over you. Your sins will be forgiven, you'll be healed. Look at James, isn't it? The Bible tells us that if we have faith in Jesus Christ, we'll be saved. All over the place, God gives us options, but in every instant, you have to get out. You're called forth. You want to know the Lord? Come on, I'll pray with you. I'll tell you all about it personally. You need a healing in your body, your mind, your spirit. I guarantee you there's more folks than me in here want to pray with you. We'll pray. Let's do it. You just want to give God some glory. Go right ahead. Whatever it is you need, you come. We're going to open it up. We'll be done when we're done. Right now, this is God's time. Let the Spirit of God move.